Hey everybody. I don't usually do Facebook Live or do videos, but as I begin to reflect on the year of 2018 and preparing for my vision board for 2019, there's a few things that dropped in my spirit, and I just felt to share today. And hopefully, something that I say today will be encouraging or helpful to somebody else. So, depending on how old you are, you're familiar with the song by Timex Social Club called Rumors. And if you're not, the first two lines say that how do rumors get started? They're started by the jealous people, and they get mad about something they had that now you're holding. And so that song got me to thinking about missed windows of opportunity and different seasons that were ordained for us that we may have let pass. That a season that we felt like kind of got by us. And but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in just a few moments. But how do rumors get started? Is a good question. And we all have haters. We all have people that are not going to approve of us. That we have people that are not going to like us for whatever reason. But let's think of it in this aspect that sometimes you have people that start rumors because they see the potential in you and you don't even see the potential in yourself, but they see the potential in your giftings, your talents, everything that you have. Sometimes they see you down the road and they see you about it's going to blow up for you and you're still stuck at the crossroads. So sometimes, and it's sometimes a nature thing that when you see somebody that's making it, that's about to make it, or sometimes people want to hate for whatever reason. They decide they want to be a hater for whatever reason. But because they see the potential in you, and sometimes you don't even see the potential in yourself. And so they are saying things to try to get in the way. They are trying to be an obstacle to you. And you can best believe that the enemy is going to be an obstacle every single time. And so you can put money on that. You can take it to the bank and know that the devil is going to be on your track because he knows the things that God has spoken over your life as well. So he's trying to stop you from getting there as well. One of the a family therapist, Dr. Madigan, made a statement that said that whenever there is a dominant knowledge, there will be sites of resistance. So you can think of it in more than one way. You can think of it in as sometimes when people see who you are, who you can be, what you can do, they're going to lift up resistance because sometimes they have missed their window of opportunity or feel like they should be doing something else and they're not doing it. It could have been similar to what you wanted to do and what you were doing, and because they're not doing it and you are, then they become resistant towards you. But let's flip it for a second. Sometimes the dominant knowledge was what I just said. Sometimes when there's dominant knowledge, sites of resistance arise. But sometimes that the resistance is us. The dominant knowledge is God. He already has a purpose for our life. He's already got purpose for our life, and he's already got a plan for our life. And sometimes we are the ones that are resistant. Why are we resistant? Because sometimes that plan that God has for our life does not line up with what we thought we would be doing in life. It doesn't work for what we had planned for ourselves. Case in point, I am one who likes to journal. I like to write things down so that I can look back in a year and see what I was doing last year and see what kind of progress I've made and things that I wanted to accomplish. Did I get those things accomplished? And so, but what I also do is write down whenever a word has been spoken over my life or a prophecy, I try to write those things down. And I recently looked at a prophecy that was spoken to me several years ago by a powerful man, Bishop Darrell Winston. And he was prophesying to me and he was speaking some things over my life. And he was like, are you an instructor? Are you a teacher? And I was just like, no, sir, I'm not. And I'm in my mind, I'm saying, and I don't want to be. Never, that's never been anything that I wanted to do is to be in a classroom teaching or anything like that. But he said, you are going to be an instructor. You're going to be teaching in a classroom. And he said that you are going to have a mentorship program and that you are also going to be doing advocacy. He said, and it's going to be to a place that basically you will be testifying about these things in Washington, D.C. Well, I received the mentorship part and everything like that. I'm finishing up my master's in social work to go down that path with advocacy and mentorship. But the instructor part was the part that I was having a problem with, because it's nothing that I ever desired to have to do or want to do. And so I had already gone to school, already got my master's in psychology and all those things. And you would think that a job would just drop in my lap. And it didn't happen that way. I applied for so many jobs and I got so many rejections, and so many tears and guessing, second guessing myself and things like that. And so I applied for this last position basically out of desperation. I applied for this position out of desperation. And one thing you need to know, that sometimes your desperation is the road that is leading you to your destination, that is leading you to your purpose. And so I applied for this job, and I had 3 interviews. They even told me a date of when they were planning on hiring somebody. Well, that day came and went. And so I was assuming again that I didn't get the job. And I remember talking to my Aunt Judy about it, and she said, it's okay to call, to reach out to them and everything. So I did. And when I did reach out to them, they were like, oh, yeah, you made it to the last round. Can you come in for this last interview with the CEO? And so I did go in with the CEO. We only spoke for a few moments. He took me into this classroom. He let me watch the instructor doing what they were doing. And I thought I was just observing. And then the next thing he said is that, okay, so we're going to let Miss Galloway just kind of take over from here. And I'm just like, oh my God. So they give me the dry erase marker and they said, we're talking about getting ready for an interview. And he said, we just talk for about 15 minutes or whatever. So I go up there and I'm so nervous. I'm praying and seriously praying. But I had got up there. It was so comfortable. I had been up there 30 minutes and didn't even know it. And they offered me the job that very day. And my title is Job Readiness Instructor. Job Readiness Instructor. Something that I did not want to do, never had a desire to do, but this is something I felt, I believe that God definitely ordained. Once I got into this position, we talked about job readiness, resumes, and what you should do in interviews. We talked about conflict resolution and how you should work with coworkers and everything like that. However, all of the people that are coming in, most of them are on government assistance. And so some of them come in at their wits' end. Some of them come in ready to contemplate suicide. Some of them come in with a whole bunch of different things. And I have the honor and the privilege to be able to speak into these people's lives on a daily basis. I get to do ministry with these people. Yes, ministry is good inside the 4 walls, but that real ministry is out there. And I get the pleasure and the privilege of speaking to people, sometimes up to 30 people in a class. And I get to speak one-on-one sometimes with them about hanging on, about don't give up, and about hope, and even being able to pray with them if I want to. I have the autonomy to go in. We have a whole curriculum, but I have the autonomy to change my lesson if I need to. And sometimes on my way to work, God will tell me to talk about something else. And I'll talk about, one day he said to talk about rejection. I talked about rejection, and there wasn't a dry eye in the classroom. And so I say that just to say that sometimes we are our own resistance. When God knows what's best, when God has created us for what he's created us for, he already knows what our purpose is. And sometimes we're the resistance. And so we have to get to the place of being able to say yes to whatever God wants us to do. So I want to get back just real quick to the point of, if you feel like your window of opportunity is past, or you feel like that season has passed by you, I want you to let God do some narrative therapy on you and with you. What is narrative therapy? Narrative therapy means that we take the yes, I may have been disobedient. Maybe I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Maybe I didn't step out on it. Maybe because of fear. Maybe because of what other people were telling me. Maybe because of what other people said about me. Maybe I was thinking about what resources I had. But okay, we recognize all of that. And God takes all of that into consideration, our flaws and everything, and then he rewrites the narrative. He rewrites our story. And so even though we may feel like we've missed a window of opportunity, even though we may feel like our season has passed us by, God can do narrative therapy, rewrite that narrative, rewrite your story. So as you get ready for 2019, I want you to write the vision and make it plain. And then I want you to watch God do what he wants to do in your life. I know most people have heard of Little Duval, and we talking about living our best life. We gonna live our best life in 2019. Why? Because we ain't going back and forth with nobody. You can have rumors, you can say whatever you want, but we're gonna listen to what God said. We not even going back and forth with ourselves, because sometimes we talk ourselves out of our purpose and our destiny. But I just wanted to be able to share that with you today. I hope it encourages somebody. I'm looking forward to an epic 2019, and you should be doing the same. God bless you, and Happy New Year.